Hey, welcome to the Wisconsin Drunken History Podcast. We are your hosts, Eric Sturgeon.
And I'm Russell Sari.
This podcast is about all things Wisconsin, history, music, culture, and beer. Although we don't often use strong language, the content is not intended for young audiences, so listener discretion is advised.
If you love the bluegrass music you hear in this intro, please check out Dang It's from Madison, Wisconsin by visiting their website, dang-its.com. Now on to the show.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Wisconsin Drunken History Podcast, your weekly dose of the Dairy State. We are your hosts, as always, Eric.
And I'm Russ.
And today's episode is regarding the birthplace of the Republican Party in Ripon, Wisconsin. And just as a side note, we will be just going over the history and how it was founded. We're not diving into anything political here. So we have great Wisconsin music on this episode as well from Oak Street Ramblers, another brew review, of course, and another installment of the infamous How Many Locos You At segment. And we have another great interview with Barrel 41. So, as always, please, if you could go on and subscribe, rate, review, like, all that sort of stuff, that would really help us out. And anything you can do for this small independent podcast is honestly miles for sure. So without any further ado, here is the episode. Here is the story about the birthplace of the Republican Party.
As stated before, we are just talking about the Republican Party and its birthplace here in the state of Wisconsin. We are going to beat around the political bush, if you will, and leave politics out of this. It's mostly just the founding. And it's, obviously politics to me are pretty damn depressing, so I don't really want to talk about it. Anyways. Let's move on.
I get enough of hearing about it every 4 years for the race for presidential stuff and the commercials and stuff. So yeah, this is really just the meat and potatoes of hey, Wisconsin, it's here. This is where it happened.
And maybe politics are part of the reason I suck back as many beers as I do.
Hey, beer is good, right?
Yeah. So our story begins in Ripon, Wisconsin. And a side note that Harrison Ford, the Star Wars Indiana Jones legend, went to college in Ripon. Did you know that?
Wow.
Isn't that pretty cool?
I did not.
Dr.
Actually,
Jones,
I did not know
Dr.
that.
Dr. Jones went to Ripon. Dr. Jones.
Yep.
And where a small schoolhouse known simply as the Little White Schoolhouse is constructed in 1853. It was first championed as an education building by the New Yorker named Alan Beauvais, who would also use the small school building for early political discussions and who would later become the founding father of the Republican Party. In 1854, there was opposition to a proposed Kansas-Nebraska bill, which was first put out by the dominant party of the time, the Democratic Party. The bill was permission to continue slavery in the United States, but due to the Democrats of the period being dominant, there was little to no opposition. The previous bill in 1820, known as the Missouri Compromise, had previously closed all slavery in the area, but now, thanks to the majority, it could be reestablished. And at this time, there were other parties, including the Whig Party, the Free Soil Party, and the splintering within the Democratic Party, who were opposed to the slavery at the time. And Alan Beauvais was one of the leaders who led the opposition and brought many of the supporters and opposers to this new bill together to meet in this tiny little school building. Many of the members of the Free Soil and Whig Party came together to form what is known the Republican Party, or the GOP. And thanks to publicity that was spread in the New York Tribune, the word spread fast, as Alan Beauvais was obviously a New Yorker, and he had some contacts at the press at the time, which was like one of the biggest distributed newspapers.
Yeah, exactly.
So huge word, he got his word out very far, and at this time there was
great reach,
no social media at this time. So, and he is quoted as saying, "We went into the little meeting, Whigs, Free Soilers, and Democrats. We came out Republicans, and we were the first Republicans of the Union." And when the Kansas-Nebraska bill eventually passed on March 3rd, 1854, Beauvais gathered up many of the contacts, including 53 voters, and led opposition to what they all considered slavery to be terrible and not acceptable. And I agree. I mean, no one should be forced labor, in my opinion, whether it's any kind of work. And eventually the party became so large and outgrew the little schoolhouse quickly. And February 22nd of 1856, the National Party was formed and held in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where famous Horace Greeley and Abraham Lincoln would attend. This would be the first major meeting of the party and would continue to grow at an exponential rate, and eventually would become one of the two major parties in America today. And obviously, we all know the Republican Party, the GOP, Grand Old Party. We all know it. And the building would, the actual little white schoolhouse actually fell into some disrepair, but would eventually be saved. And it's actually a historical marker today.
You can visit it today.
Yeah, in 1974 it was actually listed in the National Historic Landmarks. And to me, it's such a significant piece of American history back in our backyard. Whether you disagree with the party today or agree, whatever, we're not going to get into that. I mean, what a cool thing that it was in our state that such a major party was started. To me, it's just incredible.
I think if you're just a history buff or interested in the state of Wisconsin and I mean, just anything in general to do with Wisconsin, this is just another one of those pieces that it's so interesting that you can't really not talk about it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, like
we wouldn't be a Wisconsin history podcast if we didn't talk about this.
Yeah,
we would
major and significant, so we had to include it. And I think some people actually don't know this to this day. I mean, and some people say that maybe it wasn't the true birthplace like Pittsburgh was, but it definitely, Republican Party was conceived in this building before it went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and became what is known as the Republican GOP.
Right. I think it's easy to, for a lot of people to try to disregard Wisconsin's, the roots of the Republican Party in our state because we're not one of the, original 13 colonies. And,
right.
It just... I guess you can sort of like I said, disregard the idea that really it did start in this very small schoolhouse where individuals from other parties decided, hey, this other party just isn't even for us. They're not speaking the way that we want to, and here's what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
And, some of those parties don't even exist anymore.
No.
And have completely lost all their members and stuff, and it's just really unique and really cool. And like we said, we wouldn't be a Wisconsin history podcast if we ignored this subject. So
what's funny is too the Whig Party. Like you think of George Washington with that sick white wig that he wore. Like that was the Whig Party. Like they were like these like
they still in other countries wear those powdered wigs
as
like
judges
at
and
courts.
Stuff. Yeah, for sure. And I know like back in the medieval times, like in France or whatever, they would have like the lords would wear these like girl shoes and like powdered makeup and the wigs, and that's kind of what came over from America. It was a sign of high class and status.
Yeah.
But
poofy shirts and socks tucked into your pants,
frumpled shirts, and like definitely just not my style.
Really dumb looking shit.
But hey, to each their own,
Fucking dorks.
The type of people that talk to their teeth like, I'll help you out anytime, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, and
like super real.
For anybody who's tuned in and listening here, Always Sunny in Philadelphia did a tremendous episode where they go back and talk about wooden teeth and the powdered wigs and all that stuff and whistling when you talk on your S's and stuff. It's an absolutely tremendous episode and hilarious as hell. I know my buddy Jesse's Liquor Kitchen Jesse.
Yeah,
him and I practiced for what seems to be years on how to whistle with our S's. And it seems that I can't not whistle with my S now. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
That'll conclude the main story of this episode. And
stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Stay tuned.
We got a lot coming up.
So here we are with another tremendous music segment. Music provided this time from Madison, Wisconsin, Oak Street Ramblers. And what another fantastic piece of musicianship that they possess, and you can tell that they truly have fun doing what they do. This music, I don't think you can not have fun playing this bluegrass and rootsy, folky music like this.
The song is so solid. I mean, it's just a solid song, and obviously Square Barn Road, the song we're playing today, what isn't more Wisconsin than Square Barn Road? I mean, every road's a Square Barn Road to me.
Square barns and roads and stuff.
That sounds great. And,
I like it.
No, it's just a great song. They're one of the premier Madison ones. I mean, we've featured a lot of bluegrass bands. There's a lot of great ones in our state, and
we're
cool
really starting to
the revivals happening here. I mean, we got a lot of great bands,
and we're really starting to take notice of the ones that we want to go see live. And we've played like almost all of them so far. And these the Oak Street Ramblers are just another one of those ones that, Russ, we have got to go see them live this summer.
It's crazy
at some point.
We're on episode 55 now, so I got like 55 bands I want to see, because each one we featured a different band.
Yeah,
you know, so there's like that much music I have on my list to see this year. I can't wait. I got my COVID shots, but yeah. Without further ado, this is Oak Street Ramblers, Square Barn Road.
Street Ramblers, just taking us on a journey. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like we said before, the musicianship there, I don't think you can stand but to have super fun when you're playing something like that. I would be smiling the whole time. The upbeat nature of it, just that, so good.
But again, go and check them out on iTunes. Buy some of their tracks. Everything they have is really well done and well crafted. So definitely check them out.
Hey, and now that we're vaccinated and we can do what we need, just go see them. I mean, when we have a chance here, as soon as we start seeing dates for these things, let's go. Like, we'll meet you guys out there.
I agree.
I'll be. I'll try to find a tank top that fits, and I'll come out there and just start hanging out.
Right on.
So we now have a beverage review of the brew kind, and this one is actually from Barrel 41, which...
Yeah, we just had another one, the Sherbert and Ernie, which was freaking phenomenal, but we got another great one. So, again, Barrel 41 is out of Neenah, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And this one we're dealing with today is Gentle Chaos, coming in at 6.3% ABV.
It's got a cute little devil emoji on there.
Yeah, a little Deval. And then it's a milkshake IPA again, which is awesome. I've been really getting into those.
Really digging it, yeah.
And on the can,
it says, so
looking for a milkshake IPA with a wild side. Here it is. Using Citra, Mosaic, and Nelson Sauvin hops, brewed with strawberries, mangoes, and oranges. And this one does contain lactose, so if you're lactose intolerant, beware. But initially, you're getting that fruit punch to the nose. It's freaking phenomenal. I mean...
It's amazing. It smells so damn good. And tastes just as good.
It's really sweet. Like, It's almost like a strawberry shortcake is coming through. I'm getting the hints of the mango, the strawberry. It literally is like a dessert beer again.
Oh my God.
It's so good. It's very tasty. It's something different on your palate.
Yeah.
Another one that would be great dessert beer. Like after you have a big meal, to like have this after as like your dessert instead of like ice cream or something really sweet.
Yeah.
This is perfect for that. And
it's absolutely amazing.
You got the 6.3% ABV, so like, you're done with dinner, you're watching a movie maybe, like about to go to bed.
Yeah.
Perfect. 6.3% night topper, baby.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean, literally a perfect nightcap after, like you said, have a good dinner. You're not overly full. And you can just go ahead and, sip on this thing. It's a 16-ounce can.
It's a full pint size.
Yeah. I mean, so maybe you're sharing it with somebody, too, as something.
And, like, the artwork, again, is, like, really cool. So it's a mustard background.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the text is in white. You're seeing a strawberry, a mango, a peach, an orange. And, like, it's just really cool. Like,
well, some of them have faces on them, too. So you got a strawberry that's looking pretty deviant, and you've got a peach that's like ready, or is that a tangerine or orange? It's ready to kick you in the face.
But it looks
it's neat. I like it.
It's really cool. Like, in to be honest, it kind of reminds me of like a girl wearing a sundress, like a mustard sundress.
This looks like a pattern.
It looks like a pattern on a sundress. It's very cool. I mean, the can stands out. Again, it's Gentle Chaos. Go and check them out. Definitely good. Like a dessert beer. A lot of flavor coming through. It's smooth. It's crisp. You're getting a lot of the fruit coming through.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Eric, do you remember where you found this one at?
These are all from Festival.
From Festival. So
Festival's been the place that I've been able to find Barrel 41 pretty regularly.
And actually, I've been a huge fan of Barrel 41 lately. They've been kind of my go-to. I mean, everything I've tried them has been just phenomenally crafted. And these milkshake IPAs they've been a trend now for a while, and I'm just starting to get into them. I'm a little behind on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still into the hazies and going into the milkshake IPAs a little more to get just some different flavors.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely check this out.
It's been great. So Barrel 41 has never let us down.
Have a seat, gather round, join us for a chat. How many locos you at?
All right, you guys know what that means. So baby, it's a how many locos you at? And we got a really crazy one today. So.
It is that time again. We've got a 54-year-old woman arrested for her Ocho.
The Ocho.
ESPN The Ocho. The incident happened in Madison. Madison Police Department tentatively arrested a 55-year-old woman for her 8th OWI on Friday night. According to an incident report, the Madison Police Department responded to a vehicle that was stuck in a snowbank. Wow, that's 2 in a row, stuck in a snowbank.
Snowbank.
Damn snowbanks.
8 months of winter, so
yeah,
we're going to get some of those.
She was stuck in the snowbank, and so the police noted that upon arrival, they found the individual trying to dig her vehicle out of the snowbank while not wearing any shoes or socks. And
this was February?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they also noted that the vehicle was still in gear and tires were spinning. She is outside of her vehicle trying to dig as her vehicle is still spinning. Dumb. I mean, what's the plan? As soon as she does dig it out and then it's on its way home, what do you just walk it home? I don't know.
Right, yeah. If she digs it out, things are going to just jet down the freaking road.
So the Madison police tentatively arrested the individual following charges after getting a medical clearance. We've got OWI 8th offense. We've got operating while revoked. Whoa. We've got bail jumping. Whoa. We've got warrant for the 7th offense, motor vehicle operating while intoxicated, and a warrant for bail jumping. So she's got a couple of warrants and then a slew of other things from this.
I got warrants.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude. So
this is bad. So
she's in rough shape. She's not going to be getting out of this thing scot-free.
Here's the clues. We don't have a lot of information, but she's a 55-year-old woman. February, no shoes, socks. She's not even feeling the cold right now, so she's feeling good.
Real bum.
She has some booze in the system.
Yep.
Definitely not a loco drinker. 55-year-old woman, probably not a loco drinker. This might be a vodka, Grey Goose.
Yeah,
a Grey Gooser.
Yeah, or a wine even.
Yeah, maybe a wine or a Grey Gooser. But what do you think? So we got 55-year-old woman, car stuck in a pile, trying to dig it out. No socks, no shoes.
Yeah.
I mean,
idiot for sure.
I mean, like that, okay, you hit a snowbank, right? But now you have no socks or shoes. Cops know something's up.
Yeah,
like that was number one.
Also, you're trying to push your car out while the wheels are still going.
Yeah, put it in neutral.
What are you doing?
Put it in neutral or park, whatever you can do.
What's the plan after you finally get it out?
Because at least if you had it in neutral, you can kind of push it or rock it out.
Right.
So she has it in gear. It's driving while she's trying to dig it out.
Yeah.
No socks or shoes. So this isn't obvious. The cops know right away. Whee! Lights come on.
I have a feeling this is definitely a blackout scenario.
You think this? Okay.
Has to be.
So you're okay. I got my number if you think so. Because I was in the middle of like blackout to like drunkenness.
I think we're going to have the same number.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 14. Holy shit! Nice.
Bam.
Yeah,
no, that's
baby.
totally it. Because 16, I've been at a 16 local that is laying down on the concrete and puking, and then you got the 12 local where you're functioning but you're not remembering anything.
You're outside of your body.
She's
for sure.
in between, where she's probably at the point where she needs to just go to bed.
She should definitely put her head on a pillow, not in her car
or in a snowbank.
or in a snowbank.
So that's gonna be 14 locals.
14
Eric, sound
loco.
the gavel on us. All right, today we're here with Matt from Barrel 41. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Not
Good.
too bad. So,
Yeah.
Matt, can you give us a little history of Barrel 41 and how you guys kind of got your start?
Yeah, absolutely. So about 5 years ago or so, a couple of good friends of mine, Nate and Lance, had this like dream of starting a brewery. And they kind of started piecing the puzzle together. And my good friend Nate, who's our brewmaster at Barrel 41, he kind of dove full force into the beer industry. He was the assistant brewer at Bare Bones Brewing in Oshkosh.
Oh, love Bare Bones.
And then also was working at Lionsdale at the same time, and brewing beer in his mom's basement for like 2 years or so, putting together recipes and just kind of learning the trade and everything else. And like I said, dove full force into it. And Barrel 41, we all grew up together in Neenah, Wisconsin. And so when Lance and Nate finally put all the puzzle pieces together, found a location, kind of started reaching out to all the buddies and some family members and friends to come in together to start Barrel 41. So, those guys came to me and were like, do you want to start a brewery? And I kind of laughed at them and I was like, sure. And then they're like, no, we're serious. We found a place and this is our plan. And so, pretty quickly I was like, yeah, for sure. And quit my job and came to start a brewery in our hometown. So, that's kind of the quick,
awesome
story,
I am envious of all of what you just said. Russ and I have been for years doing the same thing,
making
brewing
home brews,
exactly, brewing right in our home, and often talked as if we were going to make that something that happened, and we just haven't had that push, either one of us. So.
But we, that's the thing is like that's why we started the podcast, to support other people that have done it, and we haven't had a chance to. And we were going to ask you. So one of the beers we reviewed was a Sherbert and Ernie, and I've sent it to multiple friends across the United States and Canada, and they suggest that this is like the beer. Can you give us a little rundown of Sherbert and Ernie?
Yeah, so Sherbert and Ernie is a milkshake IPA. And what we did is, added the lactose and then a little bit of vanilla. So it really kind of creams it out with that citrus. So you get almost like that ice creamy, deal with it. And it's just been, it's such an easy drinking like IPA. And it's a gateway too, because like people, who don't even like IPAs have been able to like go, oh, this is actually pretty darn good. And you're like, yeah, it's awesome. So, that's kind of the quick one. And what I was kind of hinting at to you guys prior to hitting record, in a few weeks, we actually have a double Sherbert and Ernie coming out. That'll be about 9%.
Awesome.
And is going to be really, really good. I'm looking forward to that one.
Take me to Sesame Street.
I'm going to get my
rubber
ducky ready.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome. No, that's so cool. I love the name. Like, the beer is just phenomenal. We tried it. So I was always like, I started off in the IPAs when I first started. I started getting into like kind of the hazies, you know, and kind of like keeping up with the trends. I just started getting the milkshake IPAs. We've had a couple now, Sherbert and Ernie, and then we've had the one today, Gentle Chaos, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are just phenomenal. And like they've like got me started now. So now I've been looking for your guys' beer. You guys have been my go-to probably for the past month and a half now.
And honestly,
you think since we started reviewing these, milkshake IPAs are just like my new thing. I'm all about it. I love that you guys use the lactose sugar. It's just so cool. I mean, to me, it's like phenomenal. It's like the next wave.
Yeah,
that's coming in. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's been cool to see the kind of evolution of what's the new hot in the craft beer kind of community, and hazies and milkshakes are just like this new iteration of these hoppy beers and IPAs and stuff, and they're so smooth and it just kind of in comparison to what your normal IPAs or doubles are, these are really smooth, like you said.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I agree with you. I think that the trend isn't happening right now, and I don't think it'll go away. Just because you can pack, I mean, there's so much flavor in these things, and you can change the style with like fruit. And I mean, we have another one that you guys might have to put on your list. It's called Fuego Mango, and it's got habaneros and mangoes. But I mean, it's just so versatile. You can really do whatever, and I think that's pretty neat with the beer.
Yeah, habaneros and mangoes, which I mean it's a combination that you've seen elsewhere in like wings and stuff, and then think about putting that into a beer and how do you tame those flavors to be drinkable instead, which is amazing. And I think now these you and your company are like these mad scientists of brewing, which is amazing. I love to see it.
Good. No, it sometimes feels like that, which is fun.
Yeah.
No, and I think you guys are kind of leading. I mean, for me, it's like the milkshake IPA thing's kind of new for me here, but I've literally been, like I said, like the last month and a half is all I've been buying is milkshake IPAs.
Yeah.
Tried different ones. Barrel 41's kind of one that popped up on the shelf, and I have tried the Flango Mango. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Just so you know, it's super
good.
I get them. No. I get all the beers for Barrel 41 at Festival. Is kind of like
that's so cool. They carry them.
Yeah.
So and. I was going to ask you, Matt, so we're going to probably make our way up there one of these days up to the Neenah Foundry. Would you be willing to give us a little personalized tour so we could come check out the place?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely, that would be great.
Yeah, we'd love to, just so our audience can see. We're planning a Patreon with like some brewery tours, historical markers, some tours of big businesses and stuff like that. And obviously you guys are on my list now. Barrel 41's like the go-to for me right now. So
that is so cool to hear.
All right, so Matt, before we let you go, we got a few questions I asked to find out how Wisconsin are you. They're about 8 to 10 questions of random things that we come up with and see how you fare. You ready?
Love it. Let's go.
Let's do this. All right, so the first one we got. Have you ever been to Summerfest, and do you have a favorite band you've seen there?
Oh, yes, I have. I lived in Milwaukee for a while, so I've gone quite a bit. Nice. I would have to say favorite band was I saw a few years back, and it was Chris Stapleton opening for Tom Petty.
Sick.
Chris Stapleton is awesome. I don't really love country, like the new modern country, but Chris Stapleton keeps it original. He's awesome.
But that was also probably Tom Petty's last time in Milwaukee, right?
It was, and I almost didn't go. I had free tickets, and so that makes it extra special because I'm like, I got to go see Tom Petty, and that was the last time I could have, so it was meant to be.
That's awesome, man. I'm really glad to hear that.
That's so cool.
That's a really cool story.
I got to see Tom Petty once before he passed away. It was like a few years before he passed away at Summerfest, before all this COVID bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just glad I got to see him at least once in my lifetime.
My story is very similar to yours, Matt. My wife and I were talking about going to that show. I hadn't seen Tom Petty live. Gigantic Tom Petty fan, except we chose not to go.
Oh no!
It was
you took the wrong direction. Huh?
Yeah, I mean it was like $100 per ticket though.
Yeah.
I mean, we had free tickets, no doubt I'd have been there. 100%. But we had already kind of maxed out our concert spending budget for that year.
I hear that.
Yeah.
All right, so the next question I got, since you've been in Milwaukee and you were probably younger at the time you lived in Milwaukee, have you ever closed Wolski's?
I have closed Walski's a few times.
Awesome! No
Good.
way, another Wolski's closer. That's so cool.
Hell yeah.
That's so awesome.
I don't know where the bumper stickers are, but I've definitely closed it.
We were just talking about.
yeah.
We don't know where our bumper stickers are. They're in my garage somewhere, but I don't know what under they are, like where they are.
Mine's probably plastered to the side of a speaker that I don't even have anymore. So
Yeah,
it's on the
exactly.
front of a guitar amp that's not even around anymore.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, so next question: what do you consider to be up north Wisconsin?
I call it Hayward, Wisconsin. We have a
Yeah.
cabin
Holy
up there.
smokes,
So
That's up there. Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
That's a good location because it's like a huge debate in Wisconsin. What do you consider up north?
Yeah.
I mean, Hayward, it's not on 51, so you can't use the 51 reference. But when 51 turns into single lane, that's about where Hayward's at if you were to go west.
Sure.
Right.
So it's like right there. So I think that's a good choice.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a debate, but it's also kind of like a thought process of mine that it's more in your head where you sort of in that drive north, where do you shed all your responsibilities and the stress just melt off your shoulders? Like where do your shoulders finally relax?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. I hear that. I'd say like 2 hours away from wherever you're living. That's where
exactly.
my life. I'm
exactly.
starting to relax.
Yeah.
All right, so next one I got for you. Barrel 41. Is there a beer brat beer we could use from Barrel 41 that you recommend?
Oh, wait, say that again?
A beer brat beer? Like a beer to
Like
use from beer
something
brats?
that you would want to
From Barrel 41 that we could try to use with beer brats.
Oh, beer brats. Oh, definitely our new beer, the Course Crusher.
Ooh.
It's like an American Pilsner, super, like a lot of flavor packed in there, but really light, so you could drink them on the course all day, cook them in brats,
Perfect.
crush them on the pontoon, whatever you got. It's good.
Awesome. That sounds
I
great.
like it.
So from Nina, is there a supper club you recommend our listeners go and check out, even from that area, or the best one you've been to?
Yeah, what have you been to? You know?
Oh, that is a good question. I feel like there isn't really one in Nina. I live down at Oshkosh, and the Roxy Supper Club on Main Street is pretty classic.
Roxy is a classic. I've been there too, actually. It's a great supper club.
UW Slosh, man. You know?
Yeah, there we go.
Slosh.
If
Yeah,
you've been-
baby.
If you've been there, you know.
I actually went up there one time, and I got pretty slosh with
Oh, I
some
got pretty
friends.
messed up,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, you
Campus police know my name.
see some air shows and get some liquor in your body.
Yeah.
Right on. So, so the next one we got for you. So we got two more. One is Bloody Marys. How do you use yours? Are they spicy, not spicy? How do you prepare yours? What vodka you use?
What ingredient do you think is your specialty? You know?
Oh, this is a tough one. This is a hot take. I love everything about Bloody Marys. You know, the sundae, whatever. I just don't like them, and like all the toppings, everything else. So like, I want to go for give me a big like stein of beer with all the Bloody Mary fixings on top. You know, like the bacon and everything.
Yeah.
But
So
no tomato juice.
yeah, exactly.
I got you.
Yeah, you don't want that heartburn. I'm in there, dude. I pound Tums as a Wisconsinite. Tums should sponsor this show.
Yeah, I got
To
gout.
be honest with you.
I got gout. You can't,
You got
Bloody
the
Mary's,
gout?
Bloody
Oh,
Mary's is tough,
cripes.
man.
Get the gout
Yeah.
out of here.
I wanna like them so bad, but I haven't been able to.
Yeah,
And that's
no.
perfectly
And
fine.
honestly, I've seen so many individuals who say the exact same thing. So it's definitely not just you. I would say it's probably a good even 50-50 split where you either like them or you don't, and half the state thinks the same way you do. And old fashions. How
Yeah,
do you do yours?
sweet or sour?
Do you go sweet or sour?
I go sweet with brandy.
Yeah, same here.
I'm a brandy sour.
I love the sweets. It's a dessert for me.
Yeah.
When I'm having that supper club meal, I want that little sweet aftertake. So
Yeah.
Cut all the grease. Yeah.
exactly. And so I got one more for you, and this is like always the hard one. So do you have, besides Barrel 41, obviously, I've been there. Serge, have you been to Barrel 41 yet?
I have not.
We're making our way up there then. So besides Barrel 41, is there a brewery tour, or a brewery you recommend, and does not have to be in Wisconsin, that has given you some influence on the way you created Barrel 41?
That is a great question. I mean, Brewery Tour Classic Lakefront. It's just like a comedy show.
For sure.
You got to go do it. But I would say like influence and like one of our favorite breweries to go visit when we're not at Barrel 41 is definitely Central Waters.
Nice.
Anello,
yeah.
Anello's awesome. He's such a good guy.
Love the barrel aged beers, and I mean we try to really, since day one we opened, we've done barrel aged beers, and that's been a huge goal. So kind of inspired by those guys a little bit for sure.
Awesome, Matt. We appreciate your time this Sunday. We love that you're on here. We can't wait to come and see you and maybe do a little quick tour, maybe a little interview, hear some more brew history, talk about
some beers.
Yeah, you bet we'll be up there.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and I look forward to it. You guys come on up whenever.
Sounds good, Matt. You have a good Sunday.
All right, you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
All right, that concludes this episode of Wisconsin Drunken History Podcast.
If you enjoyed this vulgar display of Wisconsin, please like and subscribe on whatever streaming platform you prefer. And remember to hit the bell on YouTube to be notified when we release new content.
Also, if you have any suggestions or ideas for future episodes, please send us an email at widrunkenhistory@gmail.com or head over to our Facebook and Instagram pages.
Thanks again for listening, and remember, as always,
watch out for deer on your way home.